Welcome to another edition of DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Rasul McGee. You know what it is. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Let's hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend. We got a lineup after the Thanksgiving holiday that you wouldn't believe, as we say on the airwaves. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders and what they need to do coming up on their bye week. We're also going to talk about the Washington Wizards. Yes, they're in the diamond spall, but they play tonight against the Denver Nuggets. We're going to see what they're going to do. We're going to talk about the Washington Capitals, and they're on another planet, another level. They keep winning and winning and winning. Hopefully, they're favorites for the Stanley Cup. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about the women's Maryland basketball team. They're undefeated, folks. Undefeated. We're also going to talk about the Maryland Terrapins men's basketball team, who are 7-1, and they're going on another winning run. So sit back, relax, kick off your shoes for the weekend, because we're going to talk about the sports that you need to hear. So enjoy the news. So with that being said, let's talk Commanders. So folks, the Commanders had a big win against the Tennessee Titans, which is a much needed win. And they had to win this game handily, and they did by the score of 42-19, which was a blowout that they needed to have. Not a close game, not a 1-point game, but a blowout, so that way they can have a really outstanding decisive win. Now, by the luck of the Detroit Lions beating the Green Bay Packers on that Thursday night game and moving us closer to that 6 box, we have to beat the New Orleans Saints to take the 6 box away from the Green Bay Packers. Now it's a tall tale. It's another must win, but it's needed, because on our roster we have a really good player by the name of Marshawn Lattimore, who was a former Saint, who needs to come out and have a masterful winning game against the Saints next coming Saturday. And to their credit, they have to have another roster move, because if they don't, they're going to have a really hard time containing Alvin Kamara, who is very fast, who is very elusive, and has proven himself to be a nightmare for defenses, especially for the ones who are currently horrible against the run, as we are, but we're good against the pass. So we got to sit here and analyze this game, as I always say. I'm a good analyst in doing that, and look at the stats and what the stats read against the Saints. And you know me, as an analytical person, I'm going to give you what you need. So with that being said, we're gonna have a panel coming up soon. I think we're gonna have the full house today, because last week we had the Thanksgiving. I'm gonna ask everybody how their Thanksgiving went, and we're gonna move on from there. We're also going to talk about the Wizards. We're going to get to everything in a minute. We're just going to have to cut everybody's answers short so that we can get through the news and highlights of the upcoming games. Also, the call-in number is 512-543-4662. Make sure you call in and say your name, who you represent, so that way we can give you the accurate information about your team moving into the NFC East, West, Central, South, and North playoff picture moving forward. So right now, the Commanders are currently number 7, and Green Bay Packers are currently number 6. And I believe the Vikings are number 5 on the wild card. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to Google that up. Sorry, folks. I'm a good, accurate person, but hey, listen, we all human, we make mistakes. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the NFC playoff picture, And here we go. And I'm highlighting it right now. And the playoff picture stands as follows, folks. Drums, please. And like I say before, and the winner is, sometimes, it takes time because my internet is not working properly like it should. But don't worry. Don't worry. I got y'all. I got y'all really, really off the back of everything. So the playoff picture content is as follows, folks. I wish everybody had a great Thanksgiving so far. So let's go ahead and get this going on. So the good thing about this is we're still in the hunt. We're 8-5, and a lot of people were questioning Cliff Kingsbury's play calling because his past record was not good after the back, the what is it, the bye week. So, but if you look at this, the playoff picture is like this. Packers and Lions. Packers lost by 3. Let's see. Here we go. Playoff picture. Let me go back to. Let me see here. All right, here we go. So when everybody falls in, I'm just going to go ahead and come back to this because I'm waiting for the BPS to download. Right now it's slow. Moving forward, so if you look at the NBA, the Wizards are not doing too good. They lost 16 straight. They're going against the Denver Nuggets tonight at 7:30. Check your local listings. Most likely it's going to be a Monument. It's a home game, and they're 2-16 at home. They're not going to win any more games because majority, and this is why I don't like. I mean, listen. Okay, so when Denny was here, Denny was considered a bright spot of the Wizards, and I didn't see that because he was complaining. He wasn't doing the bare minimum. He wasn't winning like John Wall. He wasn't winning like Bradley Beal. The man was just putting up points because it was him as an accolade. The same thing is with Bilal Coulibaly. He's just making himself look good, so that way when it comes down to being traded, he's going to be gone. Now, as for the youngsters, Alex Sarr, Bob Carrington, Keyshawn George, and Kuzma and Jordan Poole, these individuals are trying to win, but they're trying to teach the youngins how to actually execute. Now, Coulibaly is just doing what he barely needs to do. I don't see growth. I see heightened skill, but I don't see growth. Growth means that you have to actually win a game or two to see a growth in a player that he can actually win in this league. They haven't won anything. All you've seen is the skill being heightened, so that way, he's tradable? Doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me at all. So we have Big Steve, and I think we just had Eric. I think Eric might have left. He might be coming back. So I'm gonna check on the playoff picture here. There we go. There we go. The playoff picture as follows. The Chiefs, Lions, and Bills have clinched a playoff spot. In the hunt is Eagles, Falcons, Seahawks, Vikings, Ravens, Packers, and Commanders. In the bubble is Colts, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Titans, Browns, Bengals, Dolphins, Saints and Bears and Panthers. Eliminated is the Giants, Patriots, Jaguars, and Raiders. Now, like I told you, if we win, which we have a 76% playoff ability, I wish that number was higher, because the Green Bay Packers have a 96% rating of making the playoffs. As for the Vikings, they have a 99% if they lose, and current is 99% if they win. Yo, that's crazy. And the Falcons have a 47% if lose, current is 57, and 75 if they win. So the Falcons are number one in the South with a 6-6. The Vikings have a 10-2 record, and the Packers have a 94 record. Since they lost to Detroit, that probability went down by 1. So if we win against the Saints, we're in. We're in the 6th seed. So that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have if we win and move up. So there's a lot at stake here. And like I said, let's go to the stats real quick of the New Orleans Saints versus Commanders. Now, I'm pretty sure we lead the series in that regard, because the last 2 times we played the Saints, I think the last time we got blown out when Drew Brees had that break-record record, and he, broke the internet with us, making 63 points. And they were like, oh, we never had this before. Same thing what the Patriots did when we went to New England, and they blew us out 52-7. And the guy was like, I've never been a part of this ever. And it was like the most craziest thing ever. New Orleans Saints series versus all right, so here we go. All right, just give me a little bit. Here we go. Here we go. This should be right now. Have a little bit of a there we go. There we go. I mean, right now we have a probability of not 76%. I say of winning this game against the Saints. We have a probability of 54%. And they have a 41%. Alvin Kamara has 206 carries for 894 yards, 6 touchdowns, which means he can go over 1,000 yards rushing this year and still have a losing record. David Carr is almost over 2,000 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, while Jaden Daniels, as a rookie, has 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 2,819 yards, almost 3,000 yards passing, which is outstanding. Alvin Kamara also has a receiving yards of 450 with 1 touchdown with 59 receptions. And Who has more is Terry McLaurin with 61 receptions and 896 yards and 9 touchdowns. Could go over 1,000 yards receiving if he has a 200-yard receiving day in New Orleans. So looking at the rushing yards, Brian Robinson has 138 carries for 640 yards. He can go over 1,000 yards rushing if he has a monster day in New Orleans. Now, here is the injury report. Austin Eckler is on IR. Andrew Wiley is questionable. Noah Brown is questionable. And Marshawn Lattimore is questionable as well. Now, looking at the kicker situation, Gonzalez is still here. And we're number 2 in the NFC East. We have a really good thing. The good thing about New Orleans is Kendrick Miller, running back, is questionable. Nick Solidary is on IR. Tanzim Hill is IR. Bud Means, wide receiver, IR, rookie. And Chris Oslav is on IR. So their most heavy hitters are not good. They're on injured reserve. All right. So, I mean, to tell you the truth, looking at this back and forth, they're kind of mirroring us a little bit in the last 5 games. They won 2. We lost 3. They lost 3. We won 2. They won 2. So this is meaningful for both for both teams. Well, for us, this is meaningful more, but them, it's, they're trying to get better because they're 4-8. If they're 4-9, they're done. They're done, and they'll be eliminated. I thought they will. Let me see if they're already eliminated. Let's make that certain. No.
You know what, Russell?
Yes, sir, bro.
We got 4 games left. We got 4 games. 4 games left. We could beat the Saints and the Falcons and lose to the Eagles and Cowboys and get it.
But see, that's the thing. We shouldn't lose to the Eagles, and the reason why we should.
We
can
go 2-2.
Well, listen. This is why I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying we shouldn't lose to the Eagles because we're still trying to be. Well, I mean, we still have a shot at the NFC East. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we lose to the Eagles, then we have no business of being East champions. But if we do lose to the Dallas Cowboys at the last moment, we're still in the playoffs. But we don't want to lose and be in a momentum and a downward spiral going into the playoffs. That's something we should never do. We should never have a losing game going into the postseason because it carries over. And then when it carries over, people start to see why we lose and then mimic what the team did to win and then beat us, and we're home for nothing. So we want to make a long run before it's over. We got another caller. He is the co-host of the Enhanced Sports Show. He is none other than Louis Tenora. Welcome, Lou.
Thank you, all.
You're welcome. I think Eric just left. I think I didn't, I hope he comes back. But the thing that we were discussing is that this is a bye week for the Commanders, Lou. And this is very, 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 very important because after the bye, we have a winning record historically. But in this case, we have lost 3 games, and the Saints lost 3 games, but we won 2, and the Saints won 2. The dangerous thing that we don't want to do is give the Saints life right off the bat in the first quarter. Establishing the run on both sides of the football is very, very important for both teams. But specifically for us, and I'm about to ask you a question after this. Specifically for both of us, establishing the run and play action pass and getting, Terrapin Lauren open. And the same thing for them, but they don't have their star hitters. We don't have key players. We still have star players. So there's a difference between us and them. Based off the information I just gave you, who is most likely to win this game off the bye week next Saturday? Commanders or Saints? What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's got to be Commanders. I mean, the Saints really are stealing trash anyway. So, I mean, if the Commanders don't win, you know, the Eagles aren't able to take advantage of that matchup. So, I think for your sake that you're going to have to win this game.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about the Saints to it. Tomorrow's game against the Giants, yes, but against the Commanders, I highly doubt it.
All right, Big Steve. So, based off what I just gave Lou, the information I just gave you, off the statistics of what I just told you, what are your thoughts? I know you just told me that, you know, we can just win 2 and lose 2, but off of this game alone, is this a trap game?
No, because like I said, the Giants not going to be at full strength. The Saints will be, but remember, the Saints not going to be at full strength when they play us because their tight end is out for the year. Their Kamara going to be running. The Saints don't have their wide receiver and stuff, so we should be able to beat them handily. All we got to do is stop the run, you know. And then remember, Lattimore is going to be playing again when we play the Saints. So, and then when the Eagles, Brown is not going to be beating my man because they cut him last week. So we should be able to take care of that. Atlanta ain't going to be a threat. And then Dallas, like I said, payback will be at the end of the year. All we got to do is win 2 of 2 games. As long as we get in the playoffs, we're a dangerous team.
Well, see here,
I don't think a lot of teams. And then we probably play Philly in the next round, the first round.
Well, see, here's what I'm saying. And I was just talking to a Commander fan yesterday. The Lions just beat Green Bay Packers, which means that if we win against the Saints, we move up to 6th spot, and Green Bay goes to 7th. So therefore, if we win, we don't play the Eagles. We play either the Vikings or the Lions or whoever's in.
No, the Lions go get a first round bye.
Okay, so we play. So
they won't play.
Okay,
we'll play the Eagles or the Vikings. Either one.
Yeah.
We can beat either one. I would rather play the Vikings than play the Eagles.
I would slow your roll.
Donald.
I would slow your roll because the thing about the Vikings, they play at home and they play dirty. I don't like the Vikings at home. If they were coming here at Northwest, I would pick us all day, every day, because at home we're a different team. On their home, they are a different team. I don't like how they play. They play like they hold a lot, and the refs don't call holding a lot on that field. But my thing is, I'm it's about picking poison, right? If you want the slow death, you pick the slow death. If you want the quick death, you pick the quick death. In this case, we got to have, like I always said, we got to have home field advantage. And the reason why is because we haven't had it in a long time. And now we're starting to add home field advantage to our resume of being powerful. In this case, there's a problem. We cannot be the wild card team. Because if we're the wild card team, we're asking for a really horrible day because our road record is horrible. We have to be the home field. And this is why I said we have to win the East. Because it gives us a first round bye. And look at how the teams play other teams. So when it comes to us, we're ready to play them. But now they're going to be studying us and coming to them. And then they're going to have an advantage. So this is why I hate having to be the wild card team. But even though we've shown that we are a wild card team, it hurts very badly because it's not who we are. Moving forward. Okay. So let me ask another question. And this question's actually means a lot. All right. This game coming up in the Superdome on Sunday. Who do you think needs to show up in the most accurate way? Offense, defense, or special teams? Let me get Big Steve and then end with Lou.
Me, it's going to have to be defense. Stop the run. Stop the run. We can control the Saints because the Saints don't have really a passing game. So if you could stop Kamara and stuff, we'll win the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. New Orleans got a good defense, but we got a great offense. And tell me, when the last time you heard the Saints, the Commanders holding? We got the top. We got one of the. We got the second top offense right after Detroit. So that's pretty real good. And then don't get me wrong. We just got a new president of the Commanders who took you kind of jinxed it yourself. I mean, we good.
Yeah.
From Campbell's suit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
He's a great guy. So we doing real good. So
we'll
be great for many years to come.
Yo, shout out to Marion and her Campbell suit fetishes, you know.
That's right.
Yo, we gotta shout her out because she loves Campbell soup. Listen, you know what? Big Steve, you're right. But we're talking about on the field, not structural. I get what you're saying, but structural doesn't mean that it translates onto the field. Yes, he's an organizational manager who does inside of, of the organization. That's fine. But when it comes to X and O's, the Campbell Soup CEO is not going to be on the field blocking, passing, tackling, sacks. He's not going to do all that. All he's going to be doing is see what we can do better. I get that. But on the field, it matters. The X's and O's matter because these players, they have to execute because they know what it means when they go to the postseason. That means that bonus check is going to be good. That means that revenue for the team is going to be needed. They know that if we get beyond the playoffs and more, that recognition, those ads, those Super Bowl running ads, they know it matters when your name is in the highlights because you're going to be in the highlight reel. That's when it matters most. And they know this team has been struggling to get back to the postseason for some time to get some wins and move on to the divisional championship. So with that being said, to get there, we have to study our opponent like we're in class because these players, these coaches who are now in the NFC East are winning like crazy. Shout out to Detroit. They never won a Super Bowl, period. But they looking like they want to win a Super Bowl. We started out like we wanted one, and then we crashed 3 games. Now we looking like we're a wild card waiting to happen to lose. And I hate saying that because it's the truth. But look, we got the Vikings who 10-2. We got the Eagles who's 9-2. We got the Vikings who the Falcons are 6-6. If they lose to us, they're done. And that's the good thing about it. Let me go to Lou.
Well, this is defense wins championships, right? So I think you have to work on your defense.
You're right, Lou. And that's what's I'm not saying Lattimore isn't a good fit. I'm saying he's what is needed. I have no problems. For me, how can I say this? For me, it's not defense. I think our defense is starting to understand what is needed to be done, and they're answering the call. What I'm seeing is that it's the whole entire team. First, it was the offense. The offense was the scoring. Then it was the defense. The defense wasn't stopping nobody. We fixed that. Now it's the special teams. The special teams is in disarray based off injuries. Right? Now we're in disarray. Now that we have Sheifert on RR, we have Gonzalez who needs to start kicking the lights out of that football. We also have we need to fix the kick return. You need to put Jameson Crowder back out there and let him kick the daylights. Those things we need to fix. So if we're going to really turn this thing out, we got to have better execution, because these last 4 games means everything, because now the world is looking at the Commanders like, what you're going to do. What are you going to do? You don't have Alfred Morris, you don't have RG3, you don't have Leonard Hankerson, you don't have Aldrick Robinson, you don't have nobody who's electrifying other than James Crowder and Terry McLaurin, and Dommy Brown hasn't been doing anything since I told everybody that he's not quick. And that's my point. Now it's time to turn the game up, and they should know this. They have a week off, and they just saw everything push in their favor, like this game against the Green Bay Packers.
Yes. This
is a gift from everybody. They say, hey, listen, if you want this, we're going to take out Green Bay so you can go to 6. So that you can either go to Vikings or you can go against the Eagles. What you want to do, because you have a 76% chance of going to the playoffs. I wish it was a little bit higher, because when it's 80 or above, we can go to playoffs. 76, it's like confidence is even, And when you have a 76 chance of going to the playoffs, it should have went up after the Tennessee Titans game, Let me check it. Let me check out the percentage, because I really hate how they give us 76%. Okay, so the Saints are 3-4 at home. We're 3-3 and away. So we're 500. So you see what I'm saying? We have a 500 record on the road. So if we win in the Saints Dome, 4-3. 4-3. Hold on. Let me check out the series too. I'm gonna check out the series between Saints and Commanders. This is very telling.
I didn't know we lost the last couple to them, so I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I agree. All-time record. Okay, here's the all-time record between the Saints and Commanders. All right, this is good. All right, so here it is. Okay, so the Washington football team record is 17-11. So we won 17 times, and they won the last 2. So let's see. The last 2 games we lost to them was, let's see. Okay, the last 2 games. Actually, what was that game that we got blown out? I think it was 2000.
That was the one where Norman got sit down and then he gonna play his headphones. I remember that one. That was on a Monday night.
Actually, yeah, that was Drew Brees' winning game. I think it was 43-27. Yeah, that was the 2002. Yeah, we lost that one, and then the following thing we lost 20-24. That was on November 30th, and then we won 16-10 at New Orleans, and then we won that one 29-24, 2008, and then we lost 30-33, 2009. That was the Mike Sellers game with Jason Campbell. Then we won 40-32. That was RG3 debut. And then 47-14, 2015. 15. That was Kirk Cousins' rookie year, and he beat Drew Brees. So yeah, so our next game next Sunday would be our 18th win against the Saints. So yeah, this would be a monumental win. So we gotta win this game. It's a must win. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right.
All right. Whew. We're gonna come back to this and give our 73 retro. Right now we're gonna move on to the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards lost to the Dallas Mavericks. Big, folks. I mean, listen, I keep telling y'all, I do not like Koulibaly. And the reason why I don't like Koulibaly is because the fact, I said it before and I'm going to say it again, he is not a game changer. He is not a person that takes over the game. All he does is improve his stats. Improving his stats, I'm not saying for him it's the bad thing. No, it's whatever. I just don't like him because of the fact that he's not a game changer. John Wall, Bradley Beal, game changers. You know, Big Zingas, game changer. What's the other guy's name? Nene. You know, when John Wall was here, game changer. He didn't like the Chicago Bulls. I'm not saying hate plays a long way. I'm just saying that when you have a gritty,
we had another white guy that was good some years ago. Remember they booed him when they picked him, and then he wound up being an all-star a couple years.
White guy. Who was he?
Yeah, the white guy. Tom something. It was.
We mean Tim Legler?
No, not Tim Legler. He was good too. But he was another one.
Scott Skiles? Okay, there was Scott.
Yeah.
Scott. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't Scott Skiles. It was a white guy. We picked him up in the first round, and people booed the hell out of him, and he wound up being an all-star a couple of games. He was real good.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who it is. White guy, and they booed him.
He was real good.
What year was this?
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna check that out because Tom something.
He was real good.
Let me see. It wasn't. Okay, hold on. Tom something. Calvin Booth, Richard Hamilton, Rex Chapman,
No.
Tom Gugliotta.
Oh, yeah. Tom Gugliotta. Yeah. Oh, he was real good.
Oh, Tom. Well, I mean,
He was.
he wasn't all that because I'm looking at his numbers. He was a power forward, 240 pounds. He was from NC State. Tom Gugliotta was okay, but he put up numbers that changed the game, but he wasn't a game changer. He was okay. I'm not going to give him. I'm giving him a little bit of flowers, but he wasn't all that.
He was better than everybody else in the
True, but I'm not saying he was like a prominent, star for the organization. He was okay. You had to put a team around him to soar. In this case, John Wall, Bradley Beal, and like Richard Hamilton and Caron Belton.
He played in 763 games.
I didn't. Well, that's after us. It wasn't for us. You understand? So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put this up here. All right, what is it? Where is he at?
Yeah, he played for Golden State.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Phoenix.
Exactly. After us, he then became even more substantial. For us, he didn't play that many minutes because he wasn't putting up those numbers that the organization wanted him to put up. And then when he didn't feel like this was the organization for him, we traded him, and we got some players that didn't fit our style of playing, and he went on to play a lifestyle for another team.
I still remember we had the dream team. We had
man.
Weber, Howard, Strickland. We had it. Oh, and then remember we had the dream team of everybody that went to the Detroit Pistons 2 years later. They won the championship.
Bro,
Wallace,
man, listen. I'm just gonna say you like this. Go ahead.
Whole team of the Detroit Pistons championship team. We had all 6 of them went to Detroit Pistons. Jordan traded the whole team, and they won the championship 2 years later. I was still mad at Jordan.
Well, listen, here's what I'm going to say to you. This organization has put up Hall of Famers for other teams. And it reminds me of the Commanders, because we did the same thing for other teams. We had the best team. These players that we wanted were perfect for us and perfect for other teams. This is what I was talking about John Wall, right? And this is what I was telling what's his name? What's his name? I was telling Stephen A. Smith one time. He was on Instagram, and he was talking. And I told him, me and Stephen A. Smith had a conversation, and John Wall was with us. And I think it was the year he had hurt his hand against the Atlanta Hawks, and we were in the playoffs. And he said, he said, listen, John Wall needs to go. Oh, and Wizards need to let him go. And I said, no, why would we let him go? For what? It wouldn't make sense. So other team can win. And what did Stephen A. Smith said on First Take? John Wall needs to play for the Lakers. I'm saying, listen, bro. I went back up there. I said, listen, just because your team is the Lakers, he doesn't need to play for the Lakers. Stop trying to give him to the Lakers. Stop. And then what they do, let John Wall go because they knew he was valuable to other teams. And I'm like, you nincompoops.
Yeah, he went to Houston. But we had the two. We had him and Bill on the same team. We had the 2 tallest, fastest, best point guards in the history of the NBA, and we let both of them.
Both of them.
Couldn't believe it.
Both of them. And just imagine if we had both of them, and then we got Porzingis, and then we just got Alex Sarr. We would have had the best East tandem on the planet. We got to get to the other topics. I love this. I love this because it shows exactly what I've been talking about for years with the Wizards and the Commanders. Now things are starting to simmer and soar. For the Wizards, they haven't really found it yet, but they're close enough. But we're going to move on to the Capitals because the Capitals are on fire. This team is on another level. And I'm like, I'm loving it because Ovi is now finding his whole leg back, and he's not letting it go. Folks, when I tell you he's finding his whole leg back, that means that Ovi is not getting any older. He's getting younger because this team is now soaring and leading in the Metropolitan Division. Again, the Capitals are dangerous. I'm saying it. I'm going to say it. They're Stanley Cup contenders, folks. They're Stanley Cup contenders. Yeah, I have no doubt. This team is now looking like they got other teams on scare, right? I'm looking at the blue. What is that? The St. Louis Blues. I'm looking at the Hurricane. I'm looking at the Devil Rays or the Devil Wings. Yeah, the Golden Knights. We've been beating the Golden Knights ever since.
They good. They good too.
Yeah, but we got the Golden Knights, even though they're expansion team. We've been whooping their butts. I think we really. I'm more concerned about.
You got Tom Wilson. Bully scoring goals. I mean, that's a dirty player. He's a dirty player.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No. And the funny thing about this is that the Capitals, look like they're not fearful. I mean, they're not scared. They look like they want the battle. And I'm like, yo, what kind of team are we building? Hats off to the coaches building a scary tale team. What is going on? Yo, I'm like, okay, all right, I see you, Caps. I see what you're doing. This is like football all over again, but on ice. And I'm like, yo, I'm liking this. So I think let me pull up who the Capitals play next. All right. Capital schedule. All right, here we go. Cap schedule right now goes as follows. Man, I cannot tell you. All right, so right now I can't get it because my BPS sucks. All right. Oh, Montreal. They play Montreal today at 7. Wow, that's going to be a good game. Yeah, Montreal looks, they've been giving us a little bit of trouble on the left side of the ice. But I think we could win this one. And well, let's see. Caps are 3-1 against the Leafs. All right, the Capitals also have the 50th. So vote and win. So participate in that, Cap fans, because that's also good too. On the 14th of December, they play Buffalo at 7 p.m. Upcoming home games. They also play against Carolina Hurricanes on the 20th at 7 p.m. And just like Big Steve just said, they play the LA Kings December 22, and then they have Boston Bruins on December 31st, which is Christmas Eve. Folks, this is a great thing about the Capitals because
don't you mean New Year's Eve?
Huh?
Don't you mean New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, sorry. I misspoke. I misspoke.
1972 does not play on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Yeah, I misspoke. I'm sorry. That's right, Big. That's right. Thank you so much, Lou. I appreciate it. You corrected me. December 31st is New Year's Eve, folks. New Year's Eve. I apologize. That was very, very absent-minded of myself. But the thing about it is, the great thing about this is, there's a lot of game coming forth, right? There's a lot of games, and what's happening here, folks, is because these teams are now seeing that they are good enough to compete, and the Capitals are that. Moving forward, folks, I want to hats off going to Maryland women's basketball team. They are now 10-0, undefeated in the NCAA women's basketball team. They're 10-0, 10-0. And then the Maryland men's basketball team are 7-1, beating Ohio State Buckeyes by a big, large margin at home. That's a statement, folks. And if this team continues on playing the way they do, it's going to be a tourney. And then the Big Ten tournament is going to happen and they win. That's a big statement for this team. Hats off to them. Going back to the Commanders, folks, like I told you last week, Tennessee was a big game because after losing to the Cowboys, it was a hurtful thing. But now that they made a big statement, 42-19, another game has emerged in New Orleans at 1 o'clock on Channel 5. The Saints would take their home field and their 4-8 record and come onto that field. Now we have to play lights out. We have to put up 50 points against this team to make sure that our average goes up. Our team goes up. The morale stays the same. Because if we lose this, we're in trouble. And that percentage of 76 goes down to 54. And they have us on ESPN as, let's see, the favorite with a 54.5% chance of winning this game. And it should be higher. And the reason why they have us at this 54% is because of Alvin Kamara. and he is a dual weapon who actually rushes and pass. So he's a passing running back. And right now we're 17-11 in the series. And so Janie Daniels can pass for over 3,000 yards for his first time as a rookie. He can go for 20 touchdowns and first time as a rookie, and lead rushing for the first time as a rookie for the Commanders. So this is a really big game moving forward. So we got 6 minutes to go. Here's what we need to do. We always do this, and it's a staple of what we do on this show. It's a 7-3 ratio. 7 is confident for a touchdown win. 3 is for a win that's not confident. Just get by and move on to the next opponent. So, fellas, 7-3 ratio. I'm going to go with Lou and Emma Big Steve. I wish Eric was here. He's probably not here. He's probably got some of those. I thought, Marilyn Coach was going to be here, but she's not here either. But hey, I hope they're both okay. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start with Big Lou. Saints, Commanders, 7-3 ratio. What you feeling?
I'm feeling a 6.
Feeling like a 6? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, I'm going larger for error. I mean, the Saints will try to make I still think the other Commanders aren't going to win this. This should be a fairly easy victory.
Okay, all right. So you gave them a 6.
I go too cocky, so I just leave it at a 6.
Okay, so you're saying 2 field goals.
To win, but yeah, I don't want to sound too cocky,
Okay, you got it, man. All right, so Lou, we're going 2 field goals for a win. All right, what you got, Big Steve?
I say Washington by 10. I say they're gonna beat them by 10 or more points. Because David Carr is known for making mistakes, so he don't have the weapons, the wide receivers that he have, and he don't have, they don't have 14. Their defense can play pretty good, but I think with our offensive coordinator, he's gonna do some good plays and stuff too, because we got lots of weapons, and then Lattimore is gonna check what best receiver Saints got? Nobody. So Lattimore is gonna do damage to his own former team. So I said Commanders 30, Saints 20.
Okay. That's a big leap. And if they go by 30, that means we actually secure our spot in the 6th seed and pushes the Green Bay Packers to number 7. And here's where the fun lasts for us for the Saints. So the Saints defense ranks. Let's see. Well, they have one person with 1 sack, and that's the linebacker Davis. And then Brian Breeze, the DT, has 18 tackles. And then you have Teron Lou. Teron Manu he's a veteran, and he has 45 tackles. And so the team stats, it's ranked 10th in rushing, 19 against and points against, and then points for is 14. Passing yards is 213. So they really don't have any type of stoppage gaps right there. Offensive, they're ranked. Let's see. They got Derek Carr for 1,926. Alvin Kamara is about 200 away from 1,000. He has 206 carries. And then his receiving is about 59 receptions for 450 yards, 1 touchdown. And the team stats for offense is 19 with a little bit under their mark. So they're not really putting up those many numbers. Their defensive.
This call may be recorded or transcribed.
Okay. And yeah, that was shocking. All right. Okay, so basically we don't have that many. I mean, they don't have that really many of wiggle room. So we should win. And my confidence is if we do win, it should be 32-15. And I believe that's where most of our, strength is, when it's small margin wins with a big explosion in the fourth quarter. So I give us 32-15. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I know, Miriam came in late, but you know what? No problem. We'll see you next Saturday with a hopeful win against the Saints, and make sure you come back in and conversate a little bit more. Hopefully we get Coach in and Eric in and Alex coming in, and then hopefully we'll bring the whole shebang in. All right. So with that being said, you're human first, everything second. You're human by definition. You're conquerors by definition. Go conquer your dreams because they're out there. All right, folks. Have a great weekend. See you next.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know how you just came in here and said that's right. But anyway, have a good day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. God bless. And have fun. All right.
All right. God bless, family.
God bless. Thank you for coming in and entertaining us. We are glad that you came here, and hopefully we'll see you next Saturday talking about the Commanders, Wizards, and Capitals, and DC United, Maryland Terrapins, and hopefully the sports and the team that you want to talk to. And the call-in number is 512-543-4662. Make sure you call in, state your name and who you represent, and I'm out. Peace.